Good morning, everybody. Today is November 11th. Dr. Vuong with a serious quick COVID update. I cannot impress upon you right now what is happening in the United States. We have been plateaued for about the last 10, 11 days, maybe 2 weeks. I'm telling you, we're heading back up. It's going up. I said this was going to happen. We are mimicking exactly what happened in the UK, where they had that summer Delta surge in July, and then they spiked, where they went down but never got down to baseline, spiked back up. We're doing exactly the same thing. And here is why. I am so tired of people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a fear dealer, fear monger, whatever. Go screw yourself. I don't really care. My predictions are exactly spot on. I told you that what we've been doing with universities opening, football games, etc., is causing havoc. All right? So will cause havoc, and now we're starting to see it now, even though people are like, I thought you said like this was a bad idea. Where's the surge? Where's the surge? Like, dude, it's coming. It is here. So right now, as of right now, Colorado, very hot. New Mexico, my adopted state, is like getting super hot. No one's talking about California. California is going to see a spike in cases, man. And it is a race in these states, in all of our states, to get vaccinated. Michigan's hot, Wisconsin's hot, and now the upper Northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire is getting hot. Why? We got to remember, these are areas that did not have this Delta surge this summer. The Delta surge this summer, primarily August, September, a little bit of October, hit the South. So Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida. I mean, it was like a nuclear bomb went off in the southern United States, all right? And then it started to wane towards the end of September, beginning of October, and that came with the opening of schools and colleges and football games, right? And then people let off their guards, and they were saying, well, Dr. Vuong, I thought you said these football games would cause a surge. Where's the surge? Because the numbers are coming down. But you got to remember, man, that's not how this virus works. What the numbers will be 3 weeks from now is what we're doing right now. So the numbers that are happening right now are representative of what happened 3 weeks ago. So the virus, Delta virus, for lack of a better phrase, burns itself out after about 2 months. It's a very interesting phenomenon that scientists are still trying to explain with coronavirus. Now, everything is speculative at this point. We don't know if it's something inherent to the virus itself, but my guess is it's probably a combination of that plus timing plus human behavior, but primarily human behavior. So if you know you're in a hot zone and the numbers are getting hot, and eventually you're going to be like, oh my God. So when, like, for example, this summer when Houston got hot with Delta, like, I quit doing indoor dining, and then it got hotter. I only did outdoor dining, and then it got even hotter, and then I was just like, okay, we're not going out anymore. So there was a 2-week period where it was so hot we didn't go out. So some human behavior will stop the virus. Now, eventually, in a hot zone, people are going to eventually know someone who caught coronavirus, right? So if there's one person who tests positive, now their whole circle of influence, they'll be like, whoa, Timmy caught coronavirus. We need to self-isolate. We need to get tested, or we need to chill out. And then the ones who are still hesitant, like, you can't make me wear a mask. You can't tell me what to do. This is social control. Eventually, Timmy gets intubated or is in the ICU, and then you kind of have a pause moment where you go, okay, like, hubby, let's not go to the picnic. Let's not go to the soccer game. Let's just relax this week. And eventually, hubby will say, all right, you're right. Let's just, I don't mind. I just want to stay home. I'll watch it on television anyway. So there's probably some subsequent human behavior in the hot zones that all the things that doctors and scientists are telling you to do, right? Isolate, wear a mask, stop going out, just like chill out. People start to chill out, and then the virus, it's like a nuclear detonation goes off, and then it spreads up. So what we're seeing now, you got to remember the Delta surge happened in the South, and then it kind of went up into Missouri, Tennessee, West Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And because the numbers in the South dropped so dramatically, our numbers started going down, And the United States was like, hey, we got this under control. Open her up, open her up. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. All these other states, and now in the Northeast and the Midwest, now especially in the Rocky Mountains, they haven't had their Delta surge. So the Delta virus is now all out there looking for uninfected lungs to go infect. And that's what we're seeing. And so when people read the news, see the news, or see the numbers going down, they're like, see, it's done. We're done with the pandemic. We've got Pfizer pills. We got Merck pills. We got this. We got and that. And then they will start not doing the right things. And the Delta's like, awesome. Been waiting for y'all. Hello. You know, like, who's that? Delta. Delta who? Delta Airlines. Psych! It's Delta virus. So as the numbers started coming down, people started feeling more confident in these non-surge states. So you started having football games and homecoming and gatherings and proms and parties. And now that's exactly the situation the Delta virus needed. And that's where you see it expanding. That's how it goes up and expands into these other regions. Does that make sense? But then Dr. Vuong, like, why is it not happening in the South? Well, just wait, right? So the Delta virus burnt out in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas. So when we were having football games and homecoming and things like that, the caseload isn't there in the community to super spread. Now, we still have cases, but it's when you get into a crowded auditorium, like, there are far fewer cases, undiagnosed cases, compared to the north and mountain areas. So they were gathering, and Delta just found empty lungs, and it's just traveling up through the whole Midwest, down Oregon, Idaho, and it's just spreading down. Now it's going to hit California. And I'm curious to see if it goes Vermont, New Hampshire, and then drops down. Remember, New York State, New York City has not had a Delta surge. California has not had a Delta surge. Chicago has not had a Delta surge. Houston, the fourth largest city, has had a Delta surge. So we will see. Miami, Delta surge. Atlanta, Delta surge. So Dallas, Delta surge. So the other major cities, New York City, no. LA, no. Chicago, no. The top three largest cities have yet to have a Delta surge. Now, let's plan this out. And they're hitting they're in stride. They're on the upswing right now. They're not nearly peaked. So if this Delta wave lasts approximately 2 months, and I'll say they're probably about 3 weeks into it, they've got another, good 5 to 6 weeks of this surge. That's taking you into the Christmas holidays. Guys, I don't know if you realize this, but Christmas is like 6 weeks away. So around the beginning, middle, like December 10th, 11th time, these Midwest, California, New York maybe area will be in the peak of the surge. And now we are opening to travel, international travel, etc. But keep your eye on this. What happened in the UK? UK had the Delta surge, came back down in July, came back down, but never went back down. And I told you, I said they only went down to like 25, from 40 down to 25, and then hovered around 30, spiked back up to 45,000, now coming down around 40,000. So just keep an eye on this. The South is starting to light up again. The South is starting to light up again. Why, Dr. V, if they've already had a Delta surge? Well, that's how this works. There's still too many unvaccinated lungs. I mean, Houston is probably, 65% vaccinated at this point? 65% vaccinated? That still leaves 35%. I mean, the Houston proper is 5 million people, So you're talking about 2 million people still unvaccinated, 1.5 million to 2 million people still unvaccinated. We still have way too many unvaccinated. But Dr. Vuong, what about, the people, isn't there immunity if you had it in the past? I said, yeah, but we don't know the durability, if it's waning, your prior infection, does that even protect you against Delta virus? The latest data seems to suggest no. Like, if you had COVID before Delta, chances are you are still susceptible to Delta. It's early data. It might change. Who knows? But that's going to be the pattern, right? So as my concern is the California, Rocky Mountain area, Michigan, Wisconsin will start coming down around the beginning of December, and then the South will spike back up, and that will keep our numbers way up there in the 100,000, 150,000 range like we had this summer, and we'll see this winter surge, man. And we're going to have the same misery, I think, as last year, especially now that we're opening up travel, airlines, international travel. And that's also going to bring us the flu. We're going to have a flu pandemic again this year that we didn't have last year because we're allowing international travel. Anyway, I hope that explains. If you have somebody who is like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, we've been having football games and we don't see a surge. Like, yeah, that's what you're seeing right now. This is all the repercussions of all the homecomings and football games and stadiums and events and marathons and all the stuff that we've been doing all fall long, early autumn, and now it's getting to us, right? Stay safe, everybody. Encourage you to get vaccinated. Oh, by the way, my daughter's day 2 post first dose. She's 5 years old. A little sore arm, feels fine today. We'll see if the second dose or anything that happens. I'll let you know. All right, see you next time. Bye, guys.